All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into something pretty powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, personal testimony.
Interesting.
And to do that, we're going to be looking at this YouTube video called Jesus Saved My Life at 14 Years Old, Christian Testimony.
Okay.
It's from a channel called Isaiah Kim.
I see.
So are you ready to see just how impactful a personal story can really be?
Absolutely. I think it's fascinating how these personal stories of faith, testimonies as they're often called,
Right.
they work on so many levels.
Yeah.
It's not just someone sharing their beliefs. It's like they're holding up a mirror to their own life and being like, look, this is what faith has done for me.
Yeah.
See if it speaks to you too.
Exactly. And in this case, our storyteller is 14-year-old Isaiah.
Okay.
And he starts off describing what sounds like a pretty typical religious upbringing, church every Sunday, family Bible readings, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But then kind of throws a curveball. Can you guess what it is?
Let me guess. Typical teenager stuff.
You got it.
Okay.
Isaiah talks about this struggle he had with video game addiction,
Oh, wow.
specifically Fortnite and Minecraft.
Interesting.
He even admits to sneaking in playtime beyond the hour that his parents allowed.
Oh, the classic parent-teenager technology battle.
Exactly.
But it sounds like it was more than just sneaking in screen time for him.
Right.
He talks about some pretty intense consequences from this addiction.
He does. He really doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Wow.
He talks about getting super angry, smashing his tablet,
Oh, wow.
even getting into fights.
That's intense.
It really paints a picture of how addiction, even at that age, can really take over.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, but here's where the deep dive gets really interesting.
Okay.
Isaiah says that he had this feeling of emptiness, like a hole in his heart. And he tried to fill it with things like, well, trying to get girlfriends.
Ah, I see.
And as you can imagine,
Yeah.
that didn't quite work out.
Yeah, it makes you think about that, universal human need to find meaning and purpose.
Right.
Right. A lot of people, religious or not, spend their lives searching for that thing that makes them feel whole.
Exactly. And for Isaiah, that search led him down a totally unexpected path.
Okay.
Get this. He starts finding Christian content on Instagram,
On Instagram.
of all places.
Wow.
And it just sparks something in him.
Huh.
He starts to feel drawn to a deeper relationship with Jesus Christ.
Interesting.
It makes you wonder if, has something you stumbled across online ever inspired you in a similar way?
It's interesting how social media has become this new landscape for religious exploration.
Yeah.
We're seeing all these online communities
Right.
and influencers popping up, and they're changing the way people connect with their faith.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
You know what's really interesting?
What's that?
Isaiah doesn't talk about having, this sudden dramatic conversion experience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he says it was more gradual. His faith just deepened over time because of all this stuff he was seeing online.
That's really insightful, I think.
Yeah.
Because it really challenges that classic lightning bolt conversion moment.
Yeah.
We often see
Yeah.
in traditional religious stories.
Right.
It shows how faith can grow and evolve
Yeah.
in a way that feels more relatable,
It is
especially for younger generations.
So as Isaiah's exploring his faith online, there's this turning point in the video.
Okay.
He talks about this moment where he fully embraces his belief in Jesus and how that hole in his heart that he was talking about just vanished.
Yeah.
And the way he describes it is so powerful. He's talking about feeling peace and love and joy and purpose.
Wow, it's like a complete 180.
It really is, yeah.
That's what makes testimony so compelling, though. It's the emotional impact.
Right.
It's not just, I believe this.
Right.
It's this is how my belief changed my entire world.
Exactly.
It hits you on a different level.
Totally. And this transformation, it doesn't stop with Isaiah.
Oh.
He goes on to talk about how he wants to share his faith with other people.
Interesting.
He's thinking about making more YouTube videos
Yeah.
and even becoming a professional soccer player so he can spread the gospel.
Really? That's interesting, this idea of spreading the gospel.
Yeah.
Sharing your faith and trying to convert others. It's a major theme in a lot of religions.
Right.
But it's cool how Isaiah is putting this modern spin on it
Yeah.
with his YouTube channel and his soccer dreams.
Yeah.
It shows how these traditional beliefs can adapt and find new avenues in today's world.
And he's not just talking about it in this vague future sense.
Really?
He looks right at the camera and he tells the viewer, you, me, anyone watching, that no matter what you've done in the past,
Wow.
Jesus can save you. It's like he's speaking directly to your soul.
That's powerful.
It is. It is.
He's using that classic technique of a personal testimony.
Yeah.
The call to action. He's basically saying, look, I was lost and now I'm found.
Right.
You can be too.
Yeah.
That direct appeal combined with his own personal story makes the message incredibly persuasive.
And to really hammer it home, he ends the video with John 3.16.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for God so loved the world. That verse is like the ultimate summary of the Christian message.
That's a brilliant move, ending with scripture.
Yeah.
He's adding this layer of authority to his own experience. He's connecting his personal story to this much larger and well-known narrative.
Okay, so we've walked through Isaiah's story.
Yeah.
We saw his struggles, his search for something more, and finally how faith became like his answer.
Right.
What do you think is the biggest takeaway here?
Yeah, it's just it's pretty incredible, right? Like Isaiah's story, it's like it's a microcosm of so many things people grapple with.
Yeah.
Addiction, searching for meaning, that power of belief to change your life.
It really is. It makes you wonder if we all have a story like that inside us,
Right.
just waiting to be told.
I think we do.
Yeah.
What's remarkable about this deep dive, I think, is how Isaiah's story, as specific as it is to his own experience, manages to touch on these like universal themes.
Yeah.
He's talking about finding peace and purpose. And that resonates with everyone, whether they're religious or not.
Absolutely. It's not about agreeing with every detail of his beliefs.
Right.
It's about connecting with that like raw emotion behind his journey.
Exactly.
The way he describes hitting rock bottom and then finding hope.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
And that's the magic of personal testimony.
Yeah.
It gives you like a window into how faith, any kind of faith, really can work in a person's life.
Yeah.
It goes beyond the dogma and the rituals and gets to the heart of the matter, that personal transformation.
It really makes you think, huh?
It does.
What are the things in our lives that have that same power to shape us, to give us a sense of meaning and purpose?
Right.
Maybe it's religion. Maybe it's something else entirely.
Exactly.
What do you think?
That's the question we all have to answer for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, Isaiah found his answers in Christianity.
Right.
But the bigger takeaway, the thing I hope you walk away with from this deep dive, is this understanding that we all have our own stories to tell.
Right.
Stories that can connect us to something larger than ourselves.
So well said.
Thank you.
And maybe, just maybe, by listening to stories like Isaiah's, we can all start to understand each other a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Regardless of our differences.
I think so.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was a pleasure.